in 3, 2, 1, and we are back. Welcome back to the Tuesday party, causing chaos and asking questions of very ancient fae creatures, including what is your name, and talking about boobs. Ah, carnal eclipse, never change. Meanwhile, enjoy the dank memes people have been creating for us. If you want to sponsor some of our memes, follow us. At some point, we may have a Patreon. To all of our millions and millions of fans, because as you know, we are the only people playing Dungeons and Dragons on the internet. So, welcome back, everybody. The pink-eyed fae creature is going to ask. That's the best one yet. That one's going to go up next. Skipping the queue. That one is skipping the queue.
Score.
That one's skipping the queue, definitely. The pink-eyed creature is going to go next in the asking of the questions. And he says, who do you serve?
Viserys is just gonna raise an eyebrow and go, I serve Helm.
This is actually a question for everyone or just for T?
Everyone?
I don't follow anyone anymore.
Well, but you serve us because contract.
Well, yes, but that's more of a hobby than a...
Yeah, but the question was serving, and that's what you do to us, right? You're supposed to be subservient.
Have I been subservient this entire time, Varric?
Good point, well made.
Well. If anything, you've been subservient to me.
Nah.
And she points at Arisa.
Meanwhile, Varric,
Yes.
as you are looking around this group of creatures, you have got all of your companions. You've got Arissa, Apricity, you've got Gaboy, you've got the little fluffy creatures, you've got the pink-eyed dryad, you've got various different creatures of all sizes, you've got the guys with petals, you've got Hannibal, you've got all different types of creatures and companions around you. I ask you this question. In the next few seconds, after opening the card, who is the first person you look at?
Islia.
Okay. Okay, Varric, you look at Islia, and the stuff that you don't know about her suddenly outweighs any goodwill you have towards her, and the fact that she rolled in the snow marshmallows with you, and the fact that you have walked and talked and laughed with her and have no reason so far that you can discover to despise her, flies out of the metaphorical window, and all you can think is a blood rage. You do not like Islia. Why is she with you? You despise Islia. She must be pummeled in the face.
He pulled a card and now he's fucked up. First person he sees,
Yes,
first person
he pulled a card, and the first person he looked at, he decided, was Islia, and he now absolutely hates her and wants to pummel her face into the ground. Which is interesting. I was like, of all the people you could have chosen.
Oh boy.
Yes, Varric, it takes a few seconds for this to sink in, and it settles in as Vitheritas is answering and saying, well, I serve Helm, and Hannibal is saying, well, I serve, no one. Well, you serve us. Well, no, I don't. Well, I... That one's going up next.
Sorry, what was this?
That's okay. Right, sorry. I'm just going to put the next meme up, and then that one will be after that. Yes, sorry. Carrying on. So, Varric, you're filled with rage. Would anybody else like to answer the question of who you serve?
Well, I growl.
Interesting answer, says the pink creature. What's pink? next.
Wait, what?
The pink-eyed creature says interesting answer because you
Yeah,
growled.
wait, what is Varric's answer before he turns his angry look back to
Growl.
Islia?
Okay. Right, I have put that meme up. The beautiful Hannibal Boob Gods meme. And so, everybody suddenly notices that Varric has started growling at Islia, who looks startled and surprised, considering he is sat on the other side of her. Oh, shit. With Veritas, you notice this also.
Vitheritas is just going to lean forward and look at Varric and go, "What's going on?"
He'll see two bloodshot eyes and a fist being clenched.
He's just going to raise an eyebrow.
Did Hannibal? She was kind of eyeing Varric during conversation. Did she see him pull a card?
Make a perception check, Hannibal. And Varric, are you doing it stealthily or are you just doing it?
Varric was being bored because he wasn't allowed to ask questions or answer them.
Alright, in which case
So he's
Hannibal
not being
can
secretive.
just check, and you don't need to do a stealth check.
Yeah, okay, with the 4 and the thing. Oh, that's nice. I rarely get over 20.
Ooh, well done, Hannibal.
Oh, nice.
God status finally showing. So, do not antagonise the Hannibal beast. So, you spot him,
Don't make me this way.
pull out a strange card. It's not got the same design on it as the other ones you've seen him pull on the back. It's folded over like a slip of golden parchment. And you, being you, probably think, oh, gold, it's a happy colour, that can't mean anything good. He opens it, it disappears into the air, he pockets the rest of the cards, and he looks up at Islia, sitting next to him, and you see the blood-filled hate fill his eyes, and the rage come over him.
Oh dear. She'll lightly wave at Verti to get his attention, in like in a subtle but pointed way.
Vitheritas is just going to quickly shoot a glance at Hannibal and go, "Yes."
I don't want to alarm you, but I believe in the next 5 minutes, Varric may very well kill the little witch girl next to you.
What did you do?
No, I'm not putting the blame either.
Funnily enough, it wasn't me this time. He pulled some kind of card, not the one that I actually want to eat. This one just poofed into the air. It was quite interesting. But I believe it filled him with, well, just maybe put her on the other side of him.
Wait, on my other
Vitheritas is
side?
going to get up and turn to look at Varric. Varric, what did you do?
I'm gonna start a punch. Like, throw a punch.
Okay, at Varric? Sorry, at Vitheritas? Or at Islia? Or at Hannibal? Or...
Trying to half punch around Verti towards Islia.
Okay. Islia is in between you, of course.
Oh yes, she's in that case, yeah, towards her.
Okay, do roll me your attack, please.
Can he do that at disadvantage as well? Because Vitheritas is immediately going to, like, shove his shield towards the way.
I will say yes, do it with disadvantage because Vitheritas, particularly because you have sworn to Helm to protect this person, you now get a reaction against anyone. If you are close enough, I'll say within 10 feet. If anyone... Best one ever! I'm just going to have to put this one up right now so that everyone can see what we are giggling at.
Verti,
Yep.
I'd like to say sorry because your shield didn't help at all.
Oh, hell.
2 nat ones.
I'm just putting up the new meme, and I'll be right with you. There you go. Lovely. This is my new favourite. I love it.
Wait, do I add strength to bunches?
Yes.
I mean, not that it helps because it's a nat 1, but...
And it was 2 nat ones.
Yep, I rolled at disadvantage. Both were nat 1.
Jesus. Sin bin those dice. Alright, so Varric, you don't manage to hit Islia. Vitheritas. Also, Vitheritas, note this, and I will remember this as well. Pin this. Verti has reaction against anyone attacking Islia if he is within 10 feet. So, Varric, you do not manage to hit Islia, who gasps and like springs backwards a little and looks terrified at you. Vitheritas brings his shield out. Vitheritas!
Yep.
You gave Varric your normal shield, didn't you?
Yep.
So that means that you are trying to put the shield of 50%ers in between you. So could you please roll me a d4? Odd means it hides itself behind your back, and even means it will protect Islia and yourself.
Pardon.
Pardon!
Where's my d4s? Nope, that's not a d4. Where are you? There we go. So that was an odd.
Alright, so you thrust the shield in the way, but seeing the punch coming straight towards it, it pulls your arm round and darts behind your back. In fact, you know what? Roll me a dexterity with disadvantage for Theratas.
Oh boy. Well, that's that one.
Alright, you manage to clang Islia on the side of the head with the shield as it tries to protect itself from Varric's punch. So 2 things are going to happen now. I will roll damage for how much damage Islia took. And Varric, you are going to instead punch Vitheritas in the crotch, because he is standing and you are sitting. And are you wearing crotch armour currently, Vitheritas?
He's wearing full plate.
Okay,
So
so Vitheritas, you cause 18 points of damage to Islia, to the side of the head, and Varric, you take 11 points of damage straight to your knuckles from Vitheritas's crotch.
Ow.
Vitheritas is going
knock
to...
some sense in me?
Vitheritas is going to curse and immediately use laying hands on Islia.
She flinches away from you instinctively, like, holding her head. Ow! Ow! Ow!
He's going to turn, putting himself clean between Varric and her, and go, I apologize, this shield does not exactly like me using it as a shield, and I'm going to have an extremely long talk with it.
Meanwhile, the the onlooking group of like fey creatures are all staring with their mouths wide open at this whole thing going on. Some of them look entertained. You guys all hear Cockroach in the background shouting and jeering and cheering, and then you hear a munching sound, and glancing over you see that he has magicked himself some green slimy popcorn that he's shoving into his mouth and not taking his eyes off of you.
I thought I told you you were not welcome here.
Who's that aimed at?
Cockroach.
He just
Because-
laughs. The pink-eyed creature has a few of the other creatures shouting at him in their own language at this point. Anyone who can speak Sylvan or Elvish, and Hannibal, you can pick up words such as not possible and help and real and evil. And the pink-eyed creature claps his hands. Varric, you feel the rage inside you slowly drift away and leave.
Do I make the connection that it might be to do with the clapping?
Do me an intelligence check.
In the meantime, if Isley is
Not
not
20.
Yes, he clapped his hands and you stopped feeling angry. It was great.
In that case, I'm going to thank him. Thank you. I do not know what came over me besides this. Well, I can't show it anymore. It disappeared, but one of the cards. A different
Varric, what
card.
have we told you about those cards?
This
What if
was
it
not
had been
that
Arisa?
card. This was not one of those cards.
It was still a card, Varric.
Yes, but I did not know that it was a evil card. This
You
one
mean-
looks pretty.
You mean this one? The pink-eyed Dryad holds out his hand in front of him and shows you the exact card you just pulled out in his own hand.
Did you make me do it? You made me do that? You made me attack her?
No, Varric. You pulled the card yourself. I have merely brought it back so I can have a look at it. He flicks it over and inspects it. It is a foolish one who pulls things at random without knowing the consequences first.
Well, that's Varric.
You're a foolish one. I
Varric,
take
let's
it.
not go
I
back
take it. The
to
sugar dip
childhood,
is
please.
kicking in. I take it. The sugar dip is kicking in.
Just a little. Just a little. He hands the card to some of the older looking fey creatures and they examine it and take it away. I must say you are not doing a very good job of convincing us all that you are not the evil band we foresaw arriving. Since you have arrived in our plane, you have disturbed us, created chaos, perhaps run into a less savoury character, and he gestures over at Cockroach, attempted to help a ghost, and insulted us and attacked one another.
Oh no, this does not mean they're evil. They're just human. Believe
I am not
it
human.
not. To me, we have had this conversation, Varric.
And
This
I'm
is a
going to
normal
keep
day
repeating
for
it.
us, sadly, but they are not evil. If they were, I would have had a lot more fun than I did. But unfortunately, they are not. They are just foolish.
Aeslia gets up and goes to stand on the other side of the Theratas.
Now, Varric, please, no more cards.
I can't make any promises.
No more cards while we're still here.
I
That
can't make
might
any-
be a wise suggestion, Varric.
Vitharatus is just going to turn to Varric and go, be well aware that I keep my oaths, Varric, and you nearly put yourself in a fight with me.
I know. I know. That's why I'm not pulling that card again.
You
And
see
how
what I
can you
mean?
guarantee that you will not pull it again?
Because it just disappeared. And I mean, if I pull it again, it's that guy's fault because he made it reappear.
You could make the argument that if you pull another one, how can you guarantee it will not be worse?
We have been trying to tell him that for about a year now, and it does not work.
I can see. Again, you do not help yourselves in persuading me to trust you, Carnal Eclipse.
And why exactly is it that we should make you trust us instead of...
Because we foresaw a band of travellers would come to steal an item from our land, which could enable devastation to reign across the world, starting from the country you know as Trevice, slowly seeping into Borsin and forcing the rest of your world, Mercer, to turn its back and wall themselves away from the rest.
So Vithartus is going to frown at that and say, and on my oath, that is the exact thing that we are questing to stop.
Another question, I think, is imminent at this point, and I believe we deserve another, seeing as how your companion chose to conduct himself. Gestures towards Varric.
That's not entirely how this works.
Yes, Varric it is. Shush now. Let them speak. Let them ask their questions.
What is she to the rest of you? And he points to Arissa.
Arissa waves cheerily.
Vithartus is going to say, a travelling companion and friend that has been with me since this all began.
Annabelle will look sideways at Teresa, who's still waving. The pain in my side and the means to an end.
Hannibal takes best answer so far.
Varric is gonna answer the same thing that Pristi is answering. Family. And then he's gonna add not by birth, but by bond.
It will be birth soon though, Varric.
That is only partially true.
Details, details.
Apricity shouts, "Family!"
So Vithartus is going to look around at everyone and then look back at him. I believe it's plainly obvious that Carnal Eclipse considers itself a family and friends.
And me.
Yep.
Accurate. Hannibal is the strange cousin who appears every so often. The
She's
pink-eyed...
Make your
adopted.
lives miserable.
The pink-eyed creature says, "That is noble, and we do understand this. However, you must understand our point of view also. We foresaw a group of travellers would arrive and steal an item that would wreak chaos upon the world we find ourselves bound to. And one of the clearest faces we saw was hers." Points to Arissa again. "And now you arrive, seeking something that you will not tell us what it is, accompanied by this same face that we recognize."
Oh, that must be the other Hannah. Arissa. Sorry, that was because...
Yeah.
Freudian slip! Why is it always Hannibal?
Well, I was working on a meme about Hannah, so therefore Hannah.
Yeah, that's fine. Arissa's just like, oh yeah, there's like another me out there. Somewhere.
There used to be another me, but he's dead.
Yeah, that was not fun.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Varric, at that point, one of the wispy, old willow tree looking women peers at you and she says, "You belong here, Varric. You are dead.
I'm sorry, that is quite not possible. My
Um,
contract is still valid.
I am dead. He begins patting himself to try and see if he feels things.
Annabelle will smack him on the head. No, you are not dead, or I wouldn't be here.
Well, she said it, and
Maybe spiritually.
am I really dead?
No.
Am I just a copy of myself?
Vitharitus
Your
is
puppy
going
died.
to glance at Varric and go, I believe we were already told how that worked.
Wait, out of character, did we?
Yeah, with Snafu.
It's been a while. We need
Yes,
a
but in that
refresh.
case, I wouldn't remember anything, right? Because Snafu didn't remember anything.
Well, you did shoot a Snafu. Dead.
And don't forget, Varric, your memories are less strong than Arissa's.
Oh, yeah, fair.
As you all continue to discuss that, the wispy willow lady continues to stare at Varric, and dead Snafu resulted in 1 times living Snafu. Best name I ever came up with. And she just continues to look at you, Varric. Why, yes, my dear. You're welcome to stay here if you like. We welcome the dead, too.
That would mean infinite marshmallows.
Varric?
Also,
Vitharitus is going to raise an eyebrow slightly at that.
but also
Go.
infinite cockroach. Yeah.
Come live with me, buddy, you know you wanna!
Vitharitus is going to now look at Cockroach and go, like he welcomed the dead that was on the vessel that we were on.
Hey, hey, hey!
I wouldn't like to be tortured. I think I'm going to stay with my family.
Oh, Varric.
If you change your
No, not you.
mind.
Well, you were going to say if I change my mind, I'd know where to find you, but I have no clue how to find you. Do I just swim?
I was going to say, if you change your mind while you are here, you are more than welcome to remain. Once you have left, it is rather hard to grace our shores again. Many seek us, very few find us.
That's going to make it difficult then.
Something to mull over while you are on our plane, perhaps.
That is one thirsty puppy.
Yes, he's going to finish it very soon. Alright. We believe that you are family. We do not yet completely trust this one. Points to Arissa. However, and while Apricity's sort of been bouncing, saying family, he turns to the gnome and says, yes, Apricity, we understand. I open the floor again to you. You have earned another question yourselves. You can try, Hannibal. If you curse him, he pings sparkly for about 5 seconds, and then slowly the green and dirt and grub just slowly starts to grow back across his clothes and his feet and his face.
She will do it repeatedly, just to see his reaction.
He goes from ah, 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 ah.
So Vitharitus is going to look at the others and go, I believe one of you should put this question forth.
It should
And then
not
he's
be me.
going to immediately slap his fist over Varric's mouth.
Mwah. Varric gives a tiny kiss on the hand to make
I like to imagine he's like licking his hand.
Yeah, that would be a bit more.
That's what I'd do.
Do a French kiss! Do a French kiss!
Your question, then? And he looks at everyone but Varric. Lovely. Loving the tongue gifts. They're beautiful.
And also, Vitharitus is going to still make sure he's got an attempt to heal Islia.
Okay.
So who is asking the question?
Yeah, who would like to ask anything? Anything you like? You've seen how well it went for Varric. Treat that as your rock bottom and start from there.
Hey, I did very well. I at least attempted.
Yes.
Is what Varric is actually going to try and say. Hand. He's going
Points for effort, Varric. Points for effort.
While he's doing that, Vitharitus is just going to one by one look at the party.
Well, I am curious. How did this place come to be?
An interesting question with a complicated answer.
I enjoy complicated.
I can tell.
Annabelle just smiles.
As you have probably already guessed, this island does not actually belong in your world. It is entirely its own other plane of existence. A small one, perhaps, but powerful nonetheless. I believe the population of your world know us as the edge of the world, or some such nonsense name. Although the idea is accurate, we are the very edge of your world. We are Glimmer.
I see.
1,000, maybe millennia, to us at least, ago, the fabric of the universe was torn a little, just enough, and we are now connected unbreakably to Mercer, out here in the middle of this ocean. The tear was ripped by a dark, shadowy magic. Someone very powerful indeed, but careless.
Hey, that's me.
Shut up. Be quiet.
He just stares at you for a second, Varric, and then continues. Someone with great evil power who did not understand what they were doing.
That's
They
not me.
rarely do.
Someone who wandered the world of Mercer, ripping holes and stepping through them, forgetting and not understanding how to seal them back up again. We may have been here for one of your Mercer years. We may have been here for 1,000. But we are stuck. A party to your world. But we protect ourselves. Many have heard of us and tried to venture out. We protect ourselves, and not many, unfortunately, return.
So you were, in a way, cursed to be stuck on this particular universe, or in this particular planet, in this particular galaxy, in this particular time. How frustrating that must be. And you have tried to get away, there is no solution? Oh, wait, that is a question. You don't need to answer it. I will find out eventually.
If we can manage to close the tear up again, we shall sever all connection with Mercer. Unfortunately, it is not our kind of magic, and so we cannot undo it. Perhaps if the creature who ripped the tear in the first place were to be destroyed, all their antics would fade out of existence with them. However, someone of such dark and great power would be hard to vanquish, and we would not know where to begin looking. So, for now, we reside here. Meanwhile, Vitheritas has put down his shield in front of him and begins slowly grilling it on how failing to do its duty harms all around it and shames it and all shields in existence.
Bad shield, bad. Hannibal will just nod at his answer and just be a little curious and one afterthought. Why did you never try? You don't need to answer, but you never tried to summon anybody from outside to try and remove you from here. There are some others that could try and take you from here. You do not need to do this alone.
We are protected. We cannot reach out, others cannot reach in.
Annabelle will kind of frown and just look around. How peculiar. I would like to meet the man who did such a thing.
If you do, please inform us. We would like to meet him also, and perhaps destroy him entirely.
I shall. Let's hope we find him. It would be a shame for all of you to just cease to exist, or remain in this drying out, motionless space for all of eternity.
What's wrong with Hannah? Since when is she friendly?
Since she found people that are kind of like her who are stuck in a dimension, which is one of the most horrible things that can happen to an immortal being.
There you go, you got your answer.
Anyway, she'll go quiet and just nod and just give a way for them to ask something. Again, she doesn't like humans, immortals. No, she never said anything about immortal. You can call her racist if you want. That's kind of what's happening here.
Just a little.
Meow.
We have a very important question for you then. Carnal Eclipse. What is it you are seeking in our realm?
So, who's gonna answer that?
Anyone who would like to. He has opened the floor to all of you. And Varric, you technically could respond. He's BRB'd, but technically Varric could respond, seeing as Vitheritas is now telling off his shield and has stopped holding Varric's face.
If no one answers, Annabelle is going to give a half-assed answer, so...
I see Varric typing.
Oh, you were choosing him over me? Okay.
I'm just curious what's coming.
Can I put on my goggles, please?
Yes, you may, Arissa.
Actually, it's Varric. I like it.
With your goggles on, Arissa, my lovely, you see dust everywhere. It's part of the air itself here. It's already quite magically misty, but when you put the goggles on, the glittering dust is everywhere. You can see these creatures breathing it in and breathing it out again. You can see Vitheritas breathing it in and breathing it out quite fast and heavily as he's getting really angry at his shield. You can see it sort of gathering and swelling past Eastlia and dangling in Apricity's hair.
I'm back.
Hello. Varric says we are looking for dust, or actually what it brings us.
That's literally his answer.
Yep, that's fine. The pink-eyed creature will say, dust. What is this dust?
It's special dust. It is everywhere.
He looks
It
at
would
you,
seem-
Arissa, confused.
Sorry. It would seem it was from a weapon that once destroyed one of the evils of this particular world. The angels want to build it back.
When you say
Apparently, they've
angels,
even
they
had-
all give a quick flinch as well. Carry on.
Yes, I agree with the sentiment. They are still as holy as ever. But yes, they apparently want to build it up again to defeat the new rising evil. I'm still not sure what it is. But apparently it's going to destroy the world if they don't make this weapon.
That sounds counterintuitive. Weapons cause the most harm, surely.
Apparently it even
This-
has a soul, which is I find extremely fascinating and kind of want to eat. But that is besides the point.
This is a weapon of protection. Kind of like how his shield just attacked one of our party members.
Vitharsis is still mid-grilling it.
Ooh, I wonder what it will taste like in the end.
Apparently it was broken last time, and now the only way to find the missing pieces is by a trail of golden dust made from holy magic or whatever the angels are made of.
Vitharsis
Apparently
is
one
good.
is here, there is a lot of dust here.
Vitharsis is going to frown a little bit and go, well, potentially I could go and ask it too.
Anywho, we were actually trying to recover one in the demon world, but there was a problem with the throne and we were cast out here.
Again, at the word demons, they all shudder.
Hey, we made them angry, which means that we are the good guys here.
Actually, we were saved by one of the demons who were trying to escape and left them
Yeah,
to die.
We were saved by one of the filthy demons, that's true. But
At the back of the party, you hear Cockroach shout, "Oh, so close and yet so far!"
do you really want to die?
I'll swing and a miss for the elf boy.
I can show you how I hit.
Beric, please.
I'm a brandish the bear trap.
Can I momentarily snap my fingers and shut him up?
You can do for about 30 seconds. There,
I
I keep
tell-
waving the bear trap.
I shall spell it. And the same to Dr. Cockroach.
In response, Cockroach just turns around and just shakes his butt at you, Varric.
I cast the cantrip message.
Okay.
To say to him, "Boo! I'm here now." Lil fuck.
Anywho, I don't much care what happens at to this world, but the angels are quite desperate to get that weapon back. It seems we have very few. How long do we have again? She looks at Verti. Until this whole world explodes, or whatever it happens.
Based on the army that we saw gathering in Travis, not long.
So not long is the answer.
The pink-eyed creature just eyes all of you for a moment and then says, "Well, we have woven every magical barrier we possibly can around us as we speak, and have no reason to doubt most of you." Glances towards Hannibal, turns back to everyone else.
Yeah, we all doubt her most of
She
the time. Oh
waves
wait,
their
I can't
fingers
talk.
with a smile in a wavy manner.
We find ourselves in a predicament, for we do not wish to be attached to a world that is going to fall. However, you say that you are seeking this item for good. But the best intentions can lead to the darkest of endings.
It is all going to end either way, so...
Vitharicius is going to say, look at Annabelle and go, over my dead body.
You're only one body. There's gonna be a lot more where that came from. At least if we don't get that shard.
Would you describe for us what it is you are looking for? Perhaps we have seen it, or know where it might be held here.
Larissa is the one who mostly sees them. And she points at the pregnant lady.
We all see the shards. Arissa sees all the dust.
Well, technically it's the goggles and the dust is everywhere, so they're not particularly useful at the moment.
It mainly looks like a piece of crystal, rainbow crystal, that shines very brightly with holy magic. I believe I also hear slight singing whenever I'm in close proximity with it. It's kind of disturbing.
That must be very unsettling for you, Annabelle.
Mostly anything to do with angels is unsettling, sadly. They are very permanent in this world.
Arissa, are you telling us that you need to have a better view in order to perhaps hone in where this dust is settled?
I mean, maybe. I mean, if I could see from up above, I could see where it's heaviest and thickest. But at the moment, it's just everywhere. I can't pinpoint anything.
We can arrange that. And the pink-eyed creature steps towards you and holds his hand out.
Arissa takes his hand.
Annabelle eyes the whole thing very suspiciously.
New friend, yay!
You guys watch as the pink-eyed creature, without changing his expression at all, and Arissa both lift gently off the floor and rise 2 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, and go up through the canopy. You can see them as they rise up into the air. It's very bright, Arissa, but it's not dazzling. It's comfortable. There is no sun and no moon, just a bright light and sparkling mist everywhere, and sparkling dust all around you too. The higher you get, you see the multicoloured leaves and the different trees of all the different heights across the forest. You can look behind you and see back up to the marshmallow snow-topped mountains and the forest you came through in the distance. You hear a Varric down below. And as you look around, you see dust covers the whole island, but it does swirl in places. So do a perception check with advantage to have a look for where it is amassing from.
$12.
Okay. You can't pinpoint an exact location, but you see where the most dust is all around the lower half of that wrecked ship that was on the beach. It's not too far away from you. You appear to be in the very centre of this forest. Out on that beach, you see dust swirling around where the tattered sails hang, and a huge ball of it just pulsing below decks.
I will put my goggles back on top of my head, look at my pink-eyed friend and say, yeah, that'll
That'll do. He nods his head to you, and you both lower down, slowly back down through the canopy, and gently land deftly on your feet, back in the centre of the circle of watchers.
So, sorry. So yeah, she'll look at everyone and go, who wants to explore a ship?
Okay.
Of course, the pink-eyed creature says, you have rid it of the spectre that guarded it and prevented any of us from exploring it completely. I suppose it is only fair to give you free rein of the vessel. I would not recommend trying to sail it, however. It is in a state of disrepair.
We'll take your advice into account, I guess.
He just smiles softly at you, Varric. I'm sure you will. So, will you be walking yourselves there, or would you like a lift?
Well, considering I have no clue how we get out of here, at
Good.
least some directions would help.
Yes, and I do not think teleporting in this magical place would be good for me. I might end up without an arm. And this
Very
body
well.
needs of 2 arms.
The pink-eyed creature gestures off to the side, and you see, almost appear out of nowhere, more silvery stretches of wood reach off through this room you're currently sat in into the distance and twine themselves into a large spiral staircase that shimmers as it reaches all the way down to the forest floor below. We hope you find what you seek. We'll be watching.
I guess everyone is just creeped out and just going.
Yeah. Varric is specifically being creeped out by this. He's gonna hold up the bear trap to Cockroach one more time on the way out.
He sticks his thumbs in his ears and waggles his tongue at you. Ah!
Oh, so tempted to try and snap his tongue off.
Eric, we have better things to do.
I hate to say it, but you may possibly be slightly right. Just for once.
Eric, I knew you'd see it my way at some point. And she just goes on, like, smuggling.
I'd like to cast. I'm with prestidigitation so that there's a sign on her back saying I'm or kick me. Let's just.
I still have my shield, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Hannibal now has a kick me sign hovering about 3 feet above her head on the edge of the shield.
Do I notice it?
Yes.
Can I explode it with fire?
Yes.
I explode it with fire.
I don't know if the 3 people will like that, but
My fire doesn't burn what I don't want it to burn.
For 10 glorious seconds, Hannibal has a kick me sign floating above her, and then it crumbles. You hear a few of the creatures, but the pink-eyed creature quietens them with a hand, and you hear Cockroach shouting, "Oh boy, I'm gonna watch the hell out of these guys!"
shit. How did you manage to make an NPC that's like that Varric wants more dead than Hannah?
As you guys all head off, you go down the spiral stairs and into the forest. You can, following where Arissa saw the dust, you can start to make your way through the forest and back towards that shipwreck. And as we are coming up on the 11 o'clock, and that means we are coming up on the midnight for people who are not in the UK, I will leave you on your way to the pirate ship.
That was one trolling session. But seriously, we need to back down on the memes.
Right, I will turn off the recording. Normally we would shout Tatty Bear. I think we should shout something on the lines of too many memes. No, Tatty Bear to the recording, and I will turn it off ready for next time. So thank you for listening, anybody and everybody. And yes, Tatty Bear.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Okay.
I had to make one final meme.
Uh-oh. Just bear with us. Don't Tatty Bear just yet. Alright, fair enough. Yep, I'll put this up. Hang on a second.
I'm sorry, audience.
To our many viewers and fans, we can only apologise.
We are proud of you and we love you all.
We love everyone who ever watches us. It's great. It's marvellous. We love you lots. And we are sorry. Oh, there we are. Alright, so now that the meme is up, so Tatty Bear, everyone. Until next time. Tatty Bear!
That's bad.